What's going on, guys? Welcome to Wreck Bike Rebuild. This is the YouTube motorcycle build show where we take wreck bikes, turn them into dream bikes. Brian?
And
give them away.
there you go.
We give them away to those beautiful people on Patreon that support this show and let us put really expensive stuff on motorcycles. I'm Chase.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a Power Ranger. That's Brian, you're being floated around by
That's
Luke.
actually what I was thinking about. So if that's what
Power
you were
Rangers?
going for,
Go Power Rangers.
yeah, I know what they are.
No monetization. So guys, this is our 2016 Ducati Panigale. That might be the longest intro I've ever done for this show. Today's gonna be a finicky episode, Brian tells me. Last episode we installed these cool clip-ons and these really nice forks and this brand new triple tree, and it looks gorgeous. But as you can see, there's nothing on the clip-on.
Sound
So
like Richard Dawson right now.
who's Richard Dawson?
He's a game show host.
Yes. So last episode we did some unboxing, and our buddies over at Moto Million. If you guys haven't checked out Moto Million, discount code is Chase. Yeah, check out Moto Million if you got a motorcycle because they got cool stuff. They sent us special things, switches.
Those are the special things that
not
they were sending.
switches.
They're switches.
I mean, there's no switch though; they're all buttons.
Well, it's still switch.
Fine. These look awesome. We're gonna install them on the handlebars today, and Brian tells me there's finicky things to do with these things, and he laughed when he told me that, which means I'm gonna hate my life. Brian, why am I gonna hate my life today?
Because this particular switch gear wraps around the throttle housing, which is fly-by-wire on this bike. So all the electronics and springs and all that stuff that is in this housing.
This is the stock housing.
This is the stock one that we took off that was damaged, but just, for conversation's sake, all this plastic comes off of here, and all the goodies that are inside of here go inside of here.
Do we have to do that for this thing too?
Nope, that one is a direct replacement. The only reason why you have to do that for this switch is because this switch does away with the extra switch that is normally on this motorcycle.
Oh.
So we're doing away with this switch, which is just an extra that goes on the bar, and we're putting this switch and this housing together as one unit.
That's really cool.
So it
then.
cleans up the handlebars and it gives you a much closer reach to the kill switch.
Right.
Instead of having to reach over all this stuff to try and get to the kill button on your bike, it's right here next to the throttle.
No clue that. I just saw them. I was like,
They're
those
cool.
look cool.
No,
Yeah.
there's reason behind it. It's a stronger housing. So if you do happen to go down on your bike, it doesn't wind up looking like this one.
Oh, we got a new one of these. We're not gonna just fish all the garbage out of this.
No. When I took that apart the other day to see how that switch that we got works with that, there's a couple tabs inside of there that are actually broken off.
Oh, well, okay. What if
We got a new one. We got a new one already because the throttle, the little locator pin that's on here that fits into the hole in the handlebar, broke off.
Oh.
So we got a new one anyway, not realizing that one, we were getting switches from Manny.
Manny surprised us at Moto Million.
But also, we didn't know, at least I didn't know, that we were putting handlebars on it that didn't have locator holes in them. So if we did get the new throttle and didn't get the new switches, we would have had to take the switch we haven't cut the little nipple off of it or drill a hole in the handlebar.
I think we
would have drilled a hole in the handlebar.
Yeah. I wish I was really good at CG, because then on the video I would be like, it's our OEM parts department. Let me go get something, and I would make it look like I jumped in this box. Dude, we got so much OEM stuff. Wait, throttle control?
That's it.
Yes. Broke. Do I need anything else other than that?
I don't think so right now.
Oh shit, so we gotta uninstall all this stuff then.
You have to take the housing off.
Oh, because there's the little throttle tube.
All right, so there's no cables.
Then
Right?
what's...
No cables? It's a spring.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, you're twisting this thing all you want. It's not attached to anything.
Bro, I'm about to drive off. Just wom.
Right. So, you know, they build their throttle housing so it has resistance like an actual throttle would.
Huh. Okay, I got my OEM throttle and housing. I got this new thing. Should I just start unscrewing stuff? And also, why does that look like a Revit logo? Look at this.
So, you know, because Ducati does not want you inside of that throttle housing, they actually put a triangle drive bit in it.
How the hell do you, like...
So I found a Torx bit that fits in there enough to take that screw out the other day. So that's what we're gonna use.
Ah, while you grab that Torx bit, I'm gonna do B-roll shots of these fancy switches. Is this everything I need?
I hope
Minus
so.
the razor blade? Let's put that over there so I don't cut myself. Okay, so I don't need this guy. Had it here for dramatic effect. Okay.
Go ahead and split that one first.
Okay, all right. We have the opening of this. So now we're good. This kind of...
Start taking some shit apart, man.
Well, like, you said there was a little specific thingamajig that I'm gonna use
You'll find it. Try and find one of them little tiny bits that's gonna fit in that
What's the
hole.
difference in the ones that got the holes and the ones that don't got the holes?
The ones with the holes are meant for tamper-proof Torx. The ones that have a little pin in the center of them.
Okay, but for our purposes, it doesn't matter.
They mean nothing.
That's way too big.
It's not gonna stick in there. It just grabs enough. They're not in there tight.
You use this one.
I'm pretty sure I did.
All right. Yeah, Ducati, you ain't stopping us. We're gonna make our motorcycle.
So if Ducati ever saw that you open one of those throttle housings up like we're doing right now, they would not warranty it.
We don't need warranties. Our bikes are...
Our bikes have previously been destroyed.
Right. I just poked myself. Okay, now, I'm assuming I'm supposed to take this other stuff out. I'm just going to town. Okay, do we need this at all? Probably not. I'm gonna go no.
You have any idea what you just did?
No. Okay, I
have no idea how that thing is supposed to go back together.
I didn't see this side of it, so there's that. Hold the hell on. What the shit is this?
Look how they go together. Look at both parts and look at how they go together.
Man, I'm not good with puzzles though, bro. All right, it's back. Okay, now look. Hold on. Hold on.
Now hold it all together in your
Fixed.
hand and turn it. Does it work? Okay. Now you know how it goes together.
Nailed it. I did that for you guys because I knew there was going to be somebody at home that was just like, oh, the stuff. So you just fit them back together. Wait, do I take this out of here though? Because we're replacing housings though now, right? Yeah, okay.
So before we go any further, you got that apart correctly. I'm going to give you that so you can stop second guessing yourself.
Sweet.
As to what do I do now.
Okay.
In the other throttle housing, there were these little spacers that they make that go over these two pins that take up some of the room.
Right.
So your throttle's not like a little floppy.
Okay.
So if we want to take those off of the other throttle and put them in here, we can do that.
Let's do it. I want somebody to be able to watch this video and be like, man, thank God Chase and Brian and Luke filmed it because I know what I'm doing now.
And if anybody out there has a Ducati and they don't have those throttle spacers, I'd recommend getting them because they're really nice.
The things that are in here? The things are about
It's more responsive. Like there's not slack in the throttle.
And that's coming
It's
from
like
the
having-
Ducati owner.
It's like having a lot of slack in your throttle cable.
So are they aftermarket?
Yes.
Oh, so like Andre had to put these in this bike.
Or they were in there when he bought it, but either way, they don't come in the machine.
I see. Can you get those for like any style Ducati?
I think pretty much anything with a throttle by wire that has this setup on it.
Well, I think the name of the website is Panigalespacers.com.
Are you serious? It's not a joke.
No.
Fair enough.
But I threw them on my Monster and it's,
So
like Brian said, it's throttle by wire, so it's fine.
Oh, those little red things.
Those little red thingies, that's it.
Wow.
Oh, it stayed together, isn't that nice?
And now it goes on either way, right? It's no big deal.
They only go on one way.
Well, like this versus this.
Yeah, I mean, let's clean it off a little bit. There was like a little flap of plastic on this because it had been flattened a little bit.
We don't
So
do
I'm just
flats.
Cutting that little excess piece so it doesn't get hung up anywhere.
Gracias. Okay, so now we've got those installed from the old one. Now, this thing fits inside of this.
Fits inside one of them.
All right, so the throttle is gonna be there. So this thing has to fit like what, like this? Let's see. No. Is that not, am I on the right path?
You're getting there.
Okay. Is it, okay, so I've got the cables like propping that boy up, so that's probably not as it should be. This is so frustrating. Hot and cold, Brian, where am I at right now? Am I like Antarctica or am I like, where am I at?
Can't really see where you're.
Like there's no cable routing on this thing. So like where do you route these cables so they don't like press it up against shit?
Okay. Let's see. That one's in there. That one's in there. Now we put the rest of the housing on. So the wires that were tripping you up.
Where are these two side wires?
Okay, so these are the wires that actually control the buttons up here.
Right.
So in this housing itself, you have to run one wire around one side and one around the other. So when you take these wires, you just split them open as wide as they can go and push them forward and slide the housing in around them.
Right.
And then that allows for all the space for the rest of the housing to close up behind it.
Yeah, it went together way better now. All right, so now this little bracketed piece goes, is this just to hold the wires back?
So those screws actually hold the throttle by wire assembly to the switch housing.
We'll put a link in the video description for this little guy. Can you get one of those heads though?
I think so.
If you get a throttle spacer, they send it in the kit.
Oh, but if somebody were to just like go to Moto Million and get one of like one of the switches.
Well, I'd say if you're doing that, get the throttle spacer as well because you're opening it up.
How much do the throttle spacers cost?
They're like $20, man.
Oh.
2 bits of plastic, it's crazy, but they're worth it.
Right, well if you get the tool as well.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Oh, also everything else, we'll have links to stuff like the switches and stuff in the description.
Well, right now it's tight and our little tool isn't strong enough to drive it all the way in because it's not the right tool.
What are you looking for right now?
Right now I could see that little spacer that we put in hanging out in here. And I think that's going to make it very difficult for us to get it over the handlebar.
Oh, come here, camera. Oh.
Yep. That little, and that's going to get fetched on the handlebar.
This is that cold sweat type of working on your bike? Where like...
This isn't working now.
So that one's stuck in there now.
Yep.
There's no like...
Yeah, there's a
especially
triangle
Right,
bit.
no, I got it, I got that. I'm saying here in this garage in this moment. Oh, he got him. Yay. How convenient. Brian figured it out.
I think these are actually too damaged to use. What's that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the screws.
He was talking about these throttles.
I don't know what size lens you think I have on here.
These throttle spacers is
So-
what he's referring to. Aw, man.
That's what it was taking up.
So are you gonna feel that once it's on the handlebar though?
Yeah.
So it's like
It's like your free play.
yeah, you do that and then it's just like power out of nowhere, which is really scary when you're in a corner.
So is this worth us getting a new pair of throttle spacers before we install this throttle housing?
So if we're putting wheels on here and we got a sloppy throttle,
Nobody knows about the wheels.
live stream does.
Well, now they, wait, yeah, we told them last week.
Edit that out, please.
Okay, so now we're at a crossroads. We're gonna order $20 throttle spacers so that our beautiful Paningli can have a beautiful throttle response. Do you think they got damaged in the wreck?
Yeah, I can see that they've been like, flattened a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can. They have like little stress points. Okay.
Points in them.
Wait, could we just cut the end of this? Like cut it down?
I think if we cut that end off, it's going to start to hang up on the outside because it'll push itself out.
Oh.
I mean, it's $20, but it's well worth it.
You know, I was just, I'm trying to think outside the box. Do you think we should go ahead and install it now or just not install it at all and just order the things and...
No, we can go ahead and install it because they're not hard to put on when the throttle housing is on.
Oh, so we can install this and not have to uninstall everything to...
Yeah, we just have to take these 2 bolts out and take this top section out of the way.
It's pretty crazy. Such a tiny little thing can be such a night and day difference with the riding, though. Because I remember you talking about those when you put them on your Monster. This is unfortunate for this episode because it's going to take multiple days to film this, but if somebody at home orders those switch panels and didn't have that tool, because who the hell would have that tool unless you just happen to do that?
That's what I'm saying. There's no reason to put those tools on there. Stupid. You can't do anything to the throttle housing inside. It's all enclosed.
Right.
Why would you need to make it so difficult?
I mean, do they just not want people tampering with it?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's a tamper-proof tool.
It's better. Works fine.
Yeah. Here you go. Now you can put that thing. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
I don't want to do anything. I want to just place this down very carefully and order throttle spacers.
All right, well, what are we going to do then? Might as well put the rest of it on anyway, right?
Well, other than, like, this is the only stuff that goes on that one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do would be install the other side and then install the grip and then just film the rest of the video when the part comes in.
However you want to do it. I'm frustrated right now.
I can tell. So we're going to try to use the old screws to... All right. So
I'm a little less frustrated now.
Yay!
Even if they don't work, I'm still a little less frustrated now. Shit like that it's like there's no reason.
Right.
There's no reason. One of those little things on the long line of things that makes it difficult to work on Ducati. Okay.
That was a very intense moment. So
now start these screws loosely. Slide it on the handlebar. Take the tool with you. Are we putting anything on the end of the handlebar?
yes.
What's going on?
If anything, air or mirror.
So if you wanted to put a mirror on this side and then you were concerned about the brake lever, what you do is you slide the throttle tube on a little bit further. That gives you the room to put the mirror on.
Oh.
And then you can put the mirror on and then
Right.
the brake guard goes inside the end of the handlebar. All right, so you want to put these so they face the rider in a good position.
Right.
You know, give yourself a little bit of space.
Now the only thing that is going to stop us from adjusting this is untightening these.
2 screws.
Oh, okay. So it's not mission critical right now to
Nope.
have it perfect. Okay. Where are we at? Because like we're not really going to know the rider position until we get
The whole thing together.
right. So this will be like next to the last thing we do is position this
All those
perfectly.
switches and stuff, yeah.
Now
Okay.
should we route these like?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I told you very adamantly to make sure where all the wires went.
Oh, so these route just like the
Same
ones
way that the
before.
other ones before did, yeah.
All right. Well, are there? I mean, there's gonna be other cables that run into here though. Like from this way, right? Like headlight and all that kind of shit.
No, those are the headlight wires there.
Okay.
And they run on the outside of the fork along the bodywork.
Gotcha. Okay. So, well, do we need to install this first so it's not hanging here anymore? The lever?
Well, how were everything run? Do you remember?
No,
No.
absolutely not. I have to look
course
at the
not.
footage. I haven't looked at my archival footage, Brian. I've got archival footage. Don't worry.
So that goes there.
Noted. So this has like a little tab here because it's like touching the triple. So.
We're replacing all that stuff anyway.
Oh yeah. Right. Good point.
So I'm not exactly sure. I would actually think that this housing is supposed to face straight up and down.
Straight up.
Yeah. It seems weird, but to have this on an angle next to the master cylinder seems a little weird too. Does it say Ducati on this side somewhere? On the bottom?
No.
Just up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why were you wondering if that was part of the?
Well, when we put the other grip on, we want it to match this one.
Right. God, Ducati grips are like
Soft, real soft.
real soft, but like,
Real tacky.
yeah. Is this all Ducati grips are like that?
Yeah, I think almost everything has that grip on it.
Damn. Okay. So this guy, I mean, we just slide this thing on. There's no real.
But we don't know where to put it until we put the grip on.
Oh, we can open it up. Okay, cool.
Well, even if we just slide it on, and then put the grip on and
Right.
then lock it down in place. So, do we have any grip glue?
Should we measure the end?
You could measure it, you could eyeball it, you could use a finger, you could do it however you want.
Well, in that case, we're doing it the right way.
And then we're also going to make sure that it reads Ducati in the same exact spot on both sides.
All right, I remember how to use this from episodes past. $14.49. How much grip glue when you put the grip on?
Well, let's go ahead and slide that switch housing on over the bar.
So what about this situation? Does it just not go the whole way?
It doesn't have to go the whole way. We're going to put it where it's in like good thumb's reach.
Gotcha.
And you know, honestly, if you needed to, you could always trim the grip.
But who wants to do that?
Just leave the switch. It'll stay. It's not going anywhere too far.
Okay. So grip glue.
Any excess grip glue that you put on there is going to wind up getting squeegeed off of the end. So,
Okay.
and then twist the grip. Otherwise, it's gonna go right down the middle. And see how
Okay.
much you put in there. That's okay.
Okay. Where's the Ducati thing? Front. Like that.
Actually comes off easier once it's dry.
Oh, okay. Should I just leave it and let it dry then?
Yeah, let's get your distance because now the grip glue is drying as you're wiping the other stuff off. Yep. 14.5.
14.41 is going to be good enough, boys.
Good.
Pretty sure that's where the other Ducati is.
That's pretty close. A little too far now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Now we can adjust this to wherever the hell we want it.
Yep.
So like, if I'm riding, now we can put this boy on.
Mm-hmm. Careful slowing that thing around on the bar.
I think I'll just lock it down for now, and then we'll figure out exactly where it needs to be once the, like once we get the levers in and stuff
I would
like that.
tighten it down completely so you don't bump it and twist it and scratch the handlebar.
How long does grip glue take to dry?
That type of grip glue probably takes about 4 to 6 hours to cure completely.
Gotcha. Question. Should we plug all this stuff in or wait for headlight assembly?
Now
and
let's
stuff?
go ahead and plug that stuff in because once we put the front upper stay, it's going to take up all the space in here
Oh, okay.
and it's going to make it harder to get to everything.
And these are plug and play, right?
I think so. They look like it.
I can always unplug it, I guess, and redo it.
If it wasn't the right plug, it would not have plugged in.
No. I knew it was the right plug. I'm saying if it needed to be routed through this like mess of stuff on the other side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had to cut a bunch of zip ties over here to get this out, right? If I remember correctly. That's when I was yelling at you, how many zip ties did you cut off?
I think the answer was 4.
So you had to cut 4 zip ties to get that line in its place, so.
Dude, I don't even want to plug this in before I look at shit because I'm just gonna have to unplug it. You know what I mean? Boom. And boom, but like, how? So what we learned is listen to Brian and take photos on your phone. How do you do it at the shop?
Commit it to memory.
You can't tell me you commit every, like...
When I'm taking it apart, I pay attention to which way that it goes, and then when I put it back together and it's done, I forget about it.
I guess that
I don't
works if
memorize
you're
how
doing-
everything is routed, but when you take it apart and put it back together at the same time,
Right.
it's easy to do that stuff.
I was gonna say, so you're taking it apart, putting it back on that moment.
Immediately, yeah, there's no time in between.
See, my thought process when I took it off was the whole situation of when you tell me that there's like wires get, like they form into the shape that they're gonna be.
But now you have a new one.
I didn't, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Which is why I was so specifically telling you to look at which way that it was routed.
as per usual, You're
a couple steps ahead.
So we need to get mirrors that are coming in a shipment, and we're gonna get a safety thing for the brake side.
Just so bad. No idea what any of this stuff is actually called. We're gonna get the thing and the doohickey, and we're gonna slap it on with some nuts and fasteners, and like.
Okay, guys. So what we're gonna do is order these Ducati throttle spacers. They're on sale, $36.99 instead of the $45.99. What a deal!
Wow.
Wow.
You should hit up Manny and see if they provide them, if they have them in there.
That's a good point. I'll ask Manny at Moto Million. If the spacers can get here before next Tuesday, we'll put that at the end of this episode. But we're done for day one. If they don't come in by next Tuesday, you're gonna see the end of this video right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 11, part 2. On the last episode of Wreck Bike Rebuild, the guys attempted to install a new throttles. The throttle spacers on the throttle were wrong or broken, so they had to order new ones.
Before you go in with the deep voice, you got to know it. You can't just stumble through it.
Yeah, I can't do this like just mess around.
Nope.
So guys, this is the second part of this episode. We got brand new throttle spacers in, and even more importantly,
The tool.
I've already told you guys about Moto Million, and that's where we got that stuff from. Mandy, shout out to you for getting us that stuff super fast so that we can get it into this episode, and let's just...
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I kind of in my head, I was like, should I jump on the lift and jump over the bike? But
no.
So much bad could have happened.
Well, I don't think the bike is going to go anywhere, but you probably smash all your lights and you might shit house on the other side face first. So,
glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't go with that like deep core want. So the things we've learned is Chase does not need to go with his impulses. Is what I've taken.
Yeah,
from
sometimes
all this.
diagnosing stuff is like forensics.
Ziploc bag,
Woo! All right.
Wow.
That was good. That was such a good way to start this. Holy shit. Okay. So
You're pretty much going to take the whole thing back apart again.
yeah. All that for this little triangle bit.
But when you have the right tool for the job.
Man, no wonder I'm so terrible. I'm not the right tool for the job. Okay. Now, we didn't end up installing any of the throttle spacers, right?
Correct, because
they didn't
they
go
were
on,
they were
right?
damaged. They were smushed. You know, they're just misshapen,
Right.
and they were hanging out on the inside, so they were rubbing up against the
Right.
handlebar, so they weren't working. So
Okay.
they're tight. Yep.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
And then when that throttle goes on, it's going to go on real tight also. There it is. There it goes.
Sweet. I didn't have to take it off too much.
Yeah. Now, because those screws are going in the plastic, you can over tighten them.
Oh, okay. So is it just tighten them down until they are snug, or?
Yeah, you want to just snug them. Good. It got tight.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just putting these in just a little bit so that we have space to. Full transparency with these mirrors, they cost far more than they actually should. Not even gonna lie about that. But
They are super nice.
every super sport that I've ever had and wanted to be fancy freaking aero mirrors. So these are really cool because they will, you have a lot of flexibility once you get them on the bike. You can have them like out so you can see far behind you. You can have them up. You can do all kinds of stuff. I really, 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 really like these mirrors. So I feel like I know what I'm talking about. It's not very odd feeling for Wrecked by Creed
something that you've done before.
Yeah, we're getting into familiar territory. Oh my God, hit the eject button. So when we installed this last time with the throttle spacers, did it not slide on well, or did it not?
When we had the spacers on, it slid on tight, and then you could feel the drag from them on the throttle.
Right.
So can you see them in there?
Barely.
Okay, so before you could see that they were hanging out.
Yeah.
So can you see?
Can you guys see it? Yeah, so they stick out just a tiny bit, but they must have
not nearly as bad as they were before.
As last time. Slides on. Yeah, still
like they're not even
no
there.
Problem, right? Yeah, when you were putting this on yesterday or the other day, it was like
I had to like push it on. So where do you think this should be?
It's gonna be super. Like I feel like we just need to put it to the edge because until we're like sitting on top of the bike, we're not really gonna be able to tell.
So I'm gonna leave it so that adjusting hardware is out in plain sight.
Okay.
Okay. That works.
So with this, you don't obviously want the grip touching this.
You want it as close as you can get to it though.
Right. That's pretty close. And the angling of this is also going to be kind of, it's going to change whenever we get to a more final stage of the bike. That went way faster with the right, I mean obviously the tool, but having the I didn't realize how messed up that plastic was because like that's how easy it could have been.
Yeah.
And it was a pain in the ass the other day.
Yep.
All right, let's get the other mirror on. And so with the mirrors, we have bar ends or bar, what do you call
they're like inserts to put them in the end of the handlebar.
Right, just to like close this hole.
Yep. But being that we replace the handlebars and replace the switches and condense some stuff, and we have a little bit of extra space on the end, so we just clamp them right around the bar itself.
Right.
And that is going to leave us room later for a brake guard.
Yeah. So we put a brake guard on the ZX10 in season 2. But I put it on
the clutch side.
The clutch side.
I tried to tell you that, but
you did. But I wanted it there because I wanted it to look like that, so it was more of a look over a function. So this bike, we're actually going to have a brake guard on the brake side. But on the other side, should we use the like hole filler?
The hole filler.
Hole filler. No, just
we,
put putty into
We can. The difference is then the grips will be different widths apart.
Oh, interesting.
So your left hand will actually be a little bit further out.
So this actually adds an extra little end to the bar.
Yeah.
I understand now. Okay, I thought these just filled the hole. Like
No.
I just thought it just.
The mirror would clamp onto that.
Right. I mean, how often do you have an opened?
Well, usually when you put bar and mirrors on, you take your bar ends off.
Right.
You put those spacers in, and then put the mirror on.
Oh, then that's what we could have done with the little black pieces.
Right.
That could have been that too.
So for this side, we could use one of those little black pieces.
Right.
Just to fill it.
Right. Okay, we'll just do that then. So whether it's a slider or whether it's a fancy bar end, you'll find out when we get to that point in the build. We don't know when that point will be. So don't ask.
Don't break it. There's teeth on it. You gotta open it up enough for the teeth to let go.
Stupid teeth. There we go.
Oh, so your mirror can't just blow around.
It's doing its job, man. Cut some slack.
If it's already loose, you just have to open it.
How tight? Just like finger tight? Do you ever Loctite that?
I don't, usually because the hardware is really small.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to Loctite small hardware.
Yeah, because then when you try and take it off, you strip the hardware and then you can never get it off.
Ah.
So you just have to go back in and check them for tightness.
Right. God, those mirrors, dude.
They are nice.
I hate how much they cost.
I know.
But
There's a reason why they're this expensive though.
son of a bitch. You aero You arrow mirror people.
Making a quality
Making an amazing,
You bastards.
making this amazing mirror that everybody loves, and
Legit though.
how dare you charge so much for fantastic work.
When you have this mirror though, with it being so long, if you have it extended out, you can actually see like behind you and you don't have to do this little,
So you don't have to pick your elbow up or dip it in or
right. Especially on a super sport where you're like, the last thing you want to do is
have to
like start
contort
contorting
your body to look in the mirror.
We knocked that out quick. I feel like a professional right now.
You put on mirrors.
Has to bring me down.
Pull you down just a little bit back to reality.
So yeah, that finishes out 11. We've got the new spacers in here. Got the new mirrors on.
The new switch is on.
New
Throttle spacers in. And pretty much the switch gear and clutch and brake are set in place for the most part.
Yeah, so we will be replacing the levers, obviously, like.
And we'll need to, adjust everything for proper use and visibility later.
Yeah, like none of this is like final placement.
It's permanent, but it's left and right. Everything is pretty much set where it needs to be.
Right. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you learned something as we installed the spacers and used the specialty tool, because currently it isn't done. This is the end of episode 11 of Right Back Rebuild. If you guys enjoyed the video, and if you saw us install the spacers, hit the like button. If you didn't see us install the spacers, also hit the like button for the mystery of YouTube build filming. I'm Chaseontwowheels. That is Brian. This has been a weird episode. We're sorry about that. You're being floated around by Luke. We'll see you on the next episode of Wreck Back Rebuild, where we have more of the parts we ordered. Maybe. Outro.
Hey!
Outro crew, put 2 hand emojis in the comments. Just put 2 hand emojis just like that. That be your comment. You're probably gonna have to do it on a phone and use the emoji. But, I'll do a pinned comment of the 2 hands, and then that way they can copy my comment and paste it. If you do the 2 hands, we know you're in the outro crew.